MG Rod back with you with another quick update on the progress on the shop remodeling. Let's go. So here we are, New Year's, and we're getting actually quite a bit more done on all of this than I expected to get done by this point in time. Got all the framing done here. Got the staircase here all laid out. Got one side done, and we still got to paint that other side before we put it up. But I do believe that painting all of this stuff ahead of time is paying off in the long run here now. Right now we're just painting the bottom sides of all of the plywood that's going up there for decking, but not the top side. We'll do all that later once it's all installed up there. And yes, we are getting started on the decking here, which I did not think was going to happen before the first. But here we are. So now, since I started out all of this with a room down here that I was going to keep, and I put this post in here to support the ceiling, just for safety's sake, and then we decided to go ahead and tear all this out, then that means my measurements here are all set by where the post was, because it's attached to the trusses up inside the ceiling, and we left it there. So I got odd measurements across all of this stuff. So it's not 12 foot across here, it's like 12 foot 3 or something, or 12 foot 6, something like that. So left us trying to figure out how to make this all work without using up a ton of materials. And we ended up with the structure here being actually not all that square, because the stuff that was in here before wasn't built very square at all. So I decided to start in this corner here with the decking, because that's about as square as anything on this is, which it's a hair off, but it's pretty close. Then I can run it along here and keep all my joists straight in line and all my screws straight. And then when I get to the very end down here against the wall, I can custom fit that to fit the wall, which isn't quite straight at all. But I figured that was the best way to make use of the material and get it all done, because I do have some pieces of plywood, the right thickness, that are only like 2 foot wide, that I already had, which will work really good for there. So yeah, we're getting somewhere. Got all this much decking done, and I got to start on this side over here. So being as I have a 14-foot ceiling, that made for some interesting thoughts about how high to build this. Now, when we did this over here, or when the previous owner did this, this is all 8 foot to the ceiling. So it's only like 5'6" from here to the ceiling of the shop itself, which means I have to hunch over to actually stand in there. I can't stand up straight. So what I ended up doing was making the top of the decking of all of this part 8 foot to the top, which actually then puts me right in line with my striping there. I can run the stripe all the way around and everything will look kind of neat. But then it gives me just enough room to stand up in here without hitting my head on the ceiling, because I'm 5'11", but I do have to watch myself. But that's not that big of a problem, because I'd rather have that extra little bit of headroom down here, because after my old shop, all this stuff was like 8 inches shorter, and I hated that, and I wanted that little bit of extra headroom there. Now, whether this is actually the best way to build this or not, I actually built all this stuff. The design of this came from basically my old shop. That's how it was all built, including the way the stairs are built. I figured that place was way sturdy enough. I never had any issues, so I just built this to be exactly the same way. So the channel has finally hit 1,000 subscribers. And for those who have been with me for a while, you might remember that at 100, I used the mechanics party favors of 1/4-inch ratchets to celebrate. For 250, we did the 3/8 ratchets. 500, we did a 1/2-inch ratchets. Now we're at 1,000, and I don't have ratchets any bigger than 1/2 inch. So, I guess we get some power tools out. I was going to do both air tools, but I'm in the middle of transitioning from air to more electrics or battery powered, so I figured let's do one of each. So now that I'm hit 1,000 subscribers, I've applied to be able to actually monetize the channel, and I can actually start making that $1.35 a month that you first get when you get monetized. Woo! Yay!